So this is about to be one of those unhinged videos that I do every once in a while, bro. So if you're looking for something that has a good hook, if you're looking for entertainment value and story arcs, if you're looking for a coherent video that follows a structure, this ain't it. This is gonna be one of those videos where I just let it flow, bro. And I gotta let you know that this don't come so easy anymore. Like it used to for old Uncle Yo, or, well, Blackbeard Uncle Yo, Uncle Elliott, Uncle E. A lot of y'all know me from 2003. No, I'm lying. That just rhymes. 2007. Been on YouTube since 2007. Very first video is of me flipping a little tire in the park way before CrossFit and warehouse gyms and strongman even got popular, especially on YouTube. So I've been doing this for a long time. In fact, without bragging, I can say, because it's a fact, I am a pioneer. I'm an OG, dare I say. No, I won't say. I'll let you say. The GOAT, greatest of all time. Well, at least I'm the greatest of all time, me. There is no other E. My daughter's first name is E. My daughter's name is Emerson. My middle daughter, her name is Emerson. I named her Emerson, so she's got an E. And I named her Emerson because I was so greatly influenced by the writings, the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I'm not the only E. Plus, my dad is Edmund, my uncle's Elroy, my brother is Eric, and my other brother is Ellis. I'm not the only E. And if you got to meet those other E's, all of them, dad, brothers, sister, you'd know that we're family. Well, we got a lot in common. In fact, my daughter Emerson, well, boy, all of my children, all four of my children take some part of Uncle E. It's funny because one of the things that old Uncle E kind of popularized, I don't make too much shit up. I can alchemize. I can take things and bring them together and create something new. I don't even know what I'm talking about. See, I have no plan. One of the things that old Uncle E popularized, I don't remember, there's so many of them, but we're talking about how I remember. We're talking about my daughter Emerson. And then I have four children. One of the things I popularized was this, the concept of the king, warrior, magician, lover. Now, I didn't make that up. In fact, the author of the book, King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, right? The masculine archetypes, but really these are universal archetypes, comes from Robert Moore, right? And he got that from Carl Jung. And Carl Jung got that from like studying spirit. Interesting guy. Very controversial. Anyway, so with King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, it's so interesting that my children almost like embody each of those four archetypes. So, but Emerson's the queen. Queen, because she's a girl. But I'll go further. I'll go deeper into my children, maybe another unhinged video like this. By the way, I'm going to make more like this. I'm going to be doing it like this for a little while. It's kind of therapy for me too. So with my four children and the four archetypes, so I'll just rattle them off. Emerson's the queen. She's the queen. And she's the queen because, well, damn, she's tall. Wherever she goes, she's like the executive as well. She is an entrepreneur. She makes a lot of money. She's an artist, but she does nails. So she's like won awards for putting like artwork on nails when she went to her school and stuff. Anyway, she's 19 years old and she owns a business in Orlando. And she also does clients here. And I call her the queen. Simone is my warrior. She actually just signed up for a CrossFit Games event coming up here. She likes to lift. She's into fitness. She's my warrior. My magician is Isabel. She is a devout Catholic. She, like me, was really drawn into the New Age. She was young, and I was, I guess, me. And it was cool back then, but it took a wrong turn, and she struggled. This is what happens when you deal with magicians ungracefully, right? But I returned to the faith because I've always been into faith. I've always been into religion, spirituality, philosophy. I mean, hence Emerson, right? But Isabel got the spiritual side, and so she's a devout Catholic. And I'm going to tell you about Benjamin in a second. He's my son. He's the youngest. But I want you to take notice as to how this freaking camera is beginning to lean. So there was resistance to making this video today. Let's see if I don't screw this up. I took a screenshot. There was resistance to making this video today. In fact, I've had a lot of resistance to making videos at all. Oh, fuck, I got cut off. I don't even know where I left off. Talking about resistance and why I ended up having to screw with that just now. Yeah, whenever there's resistance on the inside, it shows up on the outside. We perceive it out there, even if it's not there, we internalize it and it shows up in shit like this. So resistance to making this video, but it showed up on the outside that my tripod broke. So it starts to tilt. That's why I've got an alligator clip holding it on. Anyway, this video is going to be all about me. I ain't making this for you. I'm not trying to hook you in and get you addicted so you can watch to the end and get a gift. The gift is me. This is the fucking gift, Uncle E. So you're going to get the gift. And let me begin by telling you why I even decided to show up back here on YouTube after maybe 6 months of not making any videos. Although I went back to Instagram. I have a hard time figuring out, well, first of all, I speak differently on different platforms, and I guess that's the deal. But like it's been hard for me to commit to two things, and I don't have any help. We could talk about why I don't have any help later. Oh Lord, and I've been looking for help. The right kind of help, but it just doesn't show up. Anyway, so the reason why I'm making this video today is because I was challenged by a very good friend. He's a very good entrepreneur, and he's really poured into me this past year that has been probably my hardest. I mean, you guys remember, I did make a video on my birthday last year. I didn't make one my birthday that passed 5 weeks ago, which was 1 year later. But if you remember that video, which I think it titled it "Stop Fucking Lying." I think that's what it says on the thumbnail anyway. If you remember that video, I was letting you know how hard it's been for our old Uncle Yo, and in many ways, but financially. You know, I think God put me here to yap, to make videos like this. The popularity began when I started answering questions for you. But y'all questions started getting repetitive and boring. And I mean, this is 2014, so I'd like close to the peak of my popularity on YouTube. And I already sensed the ADHD kicking in. That was a big part of my complaints about myself in my last birthday video, was this damn ADHD. ADHD. Seems like everybody got ADHD these days, and everybody's autistic these days. I don't know. So there's a term called neurodivergent that like lumps us all into that category. And I say us not out of fad and fanfare looking for your approval, because it's so funny. When I was labeled with it in 1989, I felt like damaged goods. Now, like, everybody wants to be. Because they find out that like people with ADHD are the best entrepreneurs. There's all kinds of science coming out that's saying like, maybe they were the best hunters, right? Like there's a reason why we're neurodivergent, and it doesn't all have to do with the food and the vaccines and the spraying in the sky and all that shit. Like maybe we were put here for a reason in a certain way in this particular day. But anyway, so yeah, on and off making YouTube videos for a long time. And I think that's a part of the reason why I've been struggling. I mean, things have gone well, but wherever there's a struggle, it's usually because I'm not showing up. not showing up. This is what my friend asserted yesterday when we spoke. I met with him in Austin, Texas, because I was in Austin for a grounding camp type event. It wasn't my event. It was an event put on by one of my grounding camp students that I taught how to run events. And then just like with everything else, my old ADHD ass that was doing grounding camps just stopped. So, and I don't think I stopped that because I got bored. I think I stopped that because I lost momentum. I lost momentum because of the pandemic. And then I moved out here to my ranch, a 42-acre ranch. Man, I love my home. I love my home. But my dream for my home was and still is to hold more events here, hold more programs and one-on-one experiences here in Central Florida at my house. But I haven't been making content. And I haven't been making authentic content. Like even the content I stopped making in November that you guys got received from me here on YouTube, even that content was like a lot of it was I was experimenting with scripts. I ain't a script guy. I don't do scripts so good. And it's so funny, like the thought comes to my mind that like I'm trying to script myself back into the old me that was popular on TV. But I know a lot of it doesn't have to do with me. A lot of it has to do with you, right? Like what people find interesting or what they want to engage with. And after the pandemic, that's when TikTok, it was during the pandemic, that's when TikTok started becoming popular and like my long form videos just took a dump. Right? People just stopped watching them. I guess they started watching shorts and shit like that. And like, so, man, anytime there's been a change in the way people consume content, on YouTube, like I struggle because it's like I got into a groove. I knew what I had to do. I used to just flip on the camera and talk to you, and that was good enough in 2002. Once again, that rhymed. No, I'm talking like anything prior to the pandemic. I put up a video and people watching, they watch it to the end and they're happy that they did. And here's the other thing, I was totally unconscious. Being unconscious is helpful too. Being unconscious, because when you're self-conscious, too self-conscious, that's a problem. Because then, well, I become judge and jury of myself based on, well, maybe some standards that don't actually matter, right? Like, even when I reached 1 million subscribers on my Strength Camp YouTube channel, those numbers, it didn't matter to me. It did not matter to me. Other people made it matter to me. And that may have been the beginning of the end. Other people made it matter to me. They were like, Elliott, this is a big deal. You should talk about this. Aren't you excited? I remember meeting with a YouTube like executive. I don't know, he's not an executive, like a YouTube rep, right? I maybe had like 50,000 people before reaching 1 million. And he was like, Elliott, all your focus should be on reaching that number. Like you're so close. And I was like, really? That's what I should be focusing on? That's what I should be focusing on. Reaching a number, a series of zeros next to my name. It's not even like cash. It's just views. It's just subscribers, which can translate to cash. In fact, that's how I made most of my money, just showing up on YouTube. And so when I don't show up on YouTube, I don't make money. And when I do show up and I show up in a way that is contrary to what my soul requires, which is just this yap, just to talk to y'all off the top of my cap, I have a hard time. I don't do well with scripts. That's why, like, I'm a spontaneous speaker. I speak from the gut, right off the dome piece. That's why you guys would just send me questions. Yo, Elliott, ask me a question. I'd literally read your question and just answer the question based on what spontaneity arose in my mind. But that don't happen. That stopped working. People telling me stop reading the question, Elliott. It's too long for you to read the question, and people get bored, and then there's a drop off time. And prior to looking at statistics on YouTube, because like forever, I never looked at YouTube Studio. Forever, I didn't look at it. I didn't like. I got to stop saying I'm not a numbers person. Another mentor, another good friend mentor pointed that out to me. Like that's a self limiting belief, E, and it's a part of the reason why, money is numbers. I'm not a number person, I'm not a money person, and so it scatters, it flees. So I'm growing up out of that. I'm growing up out of that. A lot of you guys who watched me for so many years, like listening to my words as if they were complete. The words may have been complete, but I wasn't, even though I didn't know I wasn't complete. So it wasn't like I was trying to give you guys an incomplete version of me. You got young E. Now you got gray E. Call me Elliott White. Like Gandalf in that movie. What? Lord of the Rings. You had Elliott Gray, and now you get Elliott White. Gandalf the White. I'm Elliott the White. Elliott the White. I was actually thinking about growing his beard full, and like just because these are white too. I had a full beard many years. I had a full beard. I might grow it back. I don't know, but I like the way this looks. It's sharp. I've been shaving my head too. Oh Lord, getting old. So I got like it gets kind of. I'm losing my hair right here, and it's this craziest thing because my dad still got his hair. My brother still got their hair. My uncle didn't lose his hair at this age. I don't know why I'm losing my hair. It may have been from my seasons of steroid use. That's a legitimate reason why. But anyway, Elliott the White has got a pate, a bald head. So anyway, my friend explained to me, he's like, and like, I don't complain to anybody. I don't ask for help. And a part of me is because I don't think most people can actually help me. Here I am. That's the caretaker's dilemma, right? Here I am. I'm helping people. I don't even say that shit anymore. I don't even like saying that. Like, oh, I help people do this. I help people do that. I don't want to fucking help anybody do anything. I don't want nobody to help me. I want to show up. And if there's a exchange between us, great. But it ain't me. It ain't you. You ain't help me, and I ain't help you. I met a young man yesterday. This whole talk is gonna be about my time in Austin, Texas. I met a young man yesterday. Started watching me when he was 13 years old, and he got cancer. While he was healing from cancer, he watched all my videos, and then he was inspired to become a doctor in physical therapy because of my videos. And I got to train with him. I got to meet him yesterday, first time. And I'm sure there are lots of y'all out there that are like that. I know there are lots of y'all that are out there that are like that. But I didn't help you. I didn't help him. I just showed up and I was me. I'm just showing up being me. And when I show up as old Uncle E, the world is set on fire. Just show up. And that's what he's trying to explain to me. He's like, Elliott, you don't need a hook. You don't, like, I'm thinking there are things I need to talk about, like have a topic or a niche, right? Have a niche. And it has a lot to do with like self-esteem and what I'm worth. And I'm still convinced that I got to have something for y'all in order for you to watch my videos for this to be profitable. But I don't. Ain't got nothing for you. I'm showing up raw and empty with nothing for you. But I'll yap, I'll talk, and maybe something is imparted. Maybe something is imparted, and maybe not. Can't be worried about y'all. I can't be worried about who and how many and what happened and did they like it and subscribe to it. It's like, man, nobody wants to have a job today, right? And I guess that's where the world's going into, like with AI and all that, right? And nobody wants a job, and everybody's like, they want. And when they say they want a job, we grew up. First of all, I knew I was gonna be an entrepreneur when I was 3 years old. This is like 1983. 1987. I knew I was gonna be an entrepreneur when I saw that word in the textbook and when it's teaching us in school. I was thinking about this the other day. 2 words that stuck out to me while I was in like social studies class in elementary school that like I look back and I'm like, well, those 2 inspirations carved the path for me, like opened the way for me. Like it showed me a glimpse of who I am. One word was pioneer. And they explained what a pioneer was in the old West in America. The guys who go out and carve a path. And I heard that. I was like, I think I'm a pioneer. I know I'm a fucking pioneer now, but I was like 7 years old. I was like, I think I'm going to be a pioneer one day. What an odd thing to say. Yeah, in 1984. 1987, I don't know, fucking 1980s, for a kid in elementary school. I was like, I'm gonna be a pioneer. I didn't know if it was because the guys were riding horses and had cowboy hats on, or was the whole idea that you carve a path. You carve a path. I carve paths. I don't follow paths. I try to follow paths. If you give me a good path, I'll follow it real well. But I'm gonna carve out a little branch from that freaking path because it's just my nature. And the other word was entrepreneur. But anyway, there was no YouTube, so I didn't want to be a YouTuber. But you hear all people, you probably watching this right now, everybody aspires to be a YouTuber. I was a YouTuber by accident. I'm built for it. I struggle with the changes in algorithms and the way y'all want to consume shit. But if I'm true to myself, I'm just going to show up and I'm just going to yap like I'm doing right now. But y'all who want to be, it's trendy now. It's trendy. And look, I'm usually just a little bit ahead of everybody. And again, once again, it's not me bragging. That's my nature. That's the way God made me. Elliott, you're gonna pioneer. You're gonna set yourself apart by being first in everything. And you know what sucks about being the first? When you're the first, it's like the seed that has to die so that the plant could rise. The first one in dies first. That's why I wanted to be a Marine. I wanted to be for all through many years in high school and then through college. Like I almost became a Marine. And you know what Marines are? Marines are the first in. First in. I didn't end up being a Marine. That wasn't God's plan for me. But I applied for OCS, did real well, and I didn't come out and actually become a Marine. But I'm the first in. It's just a part of my nature. Everywhere I went this weekend, people asked me if I was in the military. People that don't know me. Because I am a Marine. Just not the way y'all know. I'm the first in. I'm the first in. Grunt. Right? What is the first one? First one in takes all the bullets, makes all the mistakes. And then shit is good after the first one. After the first one in, when like everything is shaky and unsure and nobody knows what they're doing. Then all the good shit comes in after that guy. So think about it this way too in football. In football, when you kick off the ball after a touchdown or the beginning of the game, everybody sprints down. The team that kicks off the ball, and they're now on defense. And there's one guy called the wedge breaker. You guys know football, you know that. So when the other team receives the ball, the players on that team that receives the ball, they converge. Boom, they come together like a wedge in order to protect the guy with the ball. Well, guess who the wedge breaker is, man? Me, I'm the wedge breaker. I was the fastest, and I'd get in and I'd smash the guys in front, and then my team would come in and clean up. So that's me. And I'm grateful for that being me. Well, a lot of y'all who watch me or have watched me, because who the hell is me now? You see that and you're like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be that. I want to try that. That's my goal. I want to. And listen, man, it's a job. It's a job. It's a job just like any other job. Now it has its perks. It's nice to be known in a way. Sometimes it's annoying to be known. It's nice to be known. It's nice to make your own hours. It's nice to make money doing what here's really the catch-all. It's nice doing money, earning money, doing what you've been put here to do. And I know, I've admitted it many times that I'm put here to do this, but I don't do it. I resist because it's a fucking job like everything else, except nobody's going to put a pink slip in my locker if I don't show up. I just go broke. And like, I gotta be honest, like the passion to just chat with y'all, look, it's not there. I guess maybe because momentum has ceased. And from day one, I made YouTube videos to make money. It's a job. And it's the funniest thing, like those of you guys who are creators and you're watching this and you've heard people like, just like they say the most ridiculous things like, oh, you're just doing this to make money. Like, well, what do you go to your job for? What do you go to your job for? What if when you leaving for work, people say to you, you know what? You're just doing that to make money. You wouldn't half the shit we do, we wouldn't do if it wasn't to make money. And what is money? And that's, like this, I've spoken from my heart on a myriad of topics. But money has rarely been one, because I have and have had worthiness issues, right? And I'm not blaming my parents, but like it comes from like my dad's whole attitude towards money is he will even say it. Because if you watch my videos, he'll know. He'll say it. He'll agree. I hate money. My dad's attitude towards money. I hate money. And he says, like, when I have money in my pocket, it's burning a hole. I gotta spend it. And like he's as adamant as I am and arrogant as I am about some of the things that I say, even if it's true, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna say it real hard. That's my dad. And one of the things he has always said hard is, you work hard, you make money, and you spend it. Spend it while you got it. I spent a fuck ton of money. I didn't invest nothing. I was not responsible with the money that God gave me. And that may be a part of the reason why God let me crawl into the tunnel that I've been in. And this is gonna sound crazy because y'all have seen me on and off, but like for at least the past 10 years. I've been in a tunnel for about 10 years. I've been around that long. I've been in a tunnel for at least 10 years. Checking the time. I'm using my phone. That's how I'm filming. I'm not even gonna spend money on new camera equipment and shit like that. Cause I ain't got much. I ain't got much. And a lot of it is my own fault for just not showing up. And it's not just YouTube, it's events, it's strength camp. I don't go to strength camp anymore. I have strength camp. I already strength camp. I haven't done grounding camps in a long time, but this weekend began reminding me of who I am. Partially. Many things have been reminding me of who I am. And this weekend, I was in Austin, Texas. So I'll spend a little time talking to you guys about what happened in Austin, Texas. So in 2014, I did my first active meditation camp at Strength Camp, right? And this was very different than anything that you would find at a gym because it was energetic strength. I'm teaching guys active meditation and bioenergetics. We were doing that. And it was very sensational and very fun. And that's why I did it. Getting men together, right? And expressing ourselves physically, right? Not gay physical expression, right? Because the first thing that they think when a bunch of guys get together, and even some of you motherfuckers said you try to like pin me as holding some kind of like, alpha gay camp or something like that, because people are so uncomfortable when men are expressing themselves. People are so uncomfortable when men are being vulnerable. But I get it, because for generations we had sacred spaces for that, not safe spaces. That's the gay shit. Safe spaces. That's woman talk. That's feminism talk. That's third wave intersectionality talk. Men don't look for safe spaces. We chase danger. That's what we do. If you're a fucking man. But sacred space is space set aside for sacred shit to unfold. And you need it because, listen, if you're a husband and father, your home ain't your sacred space. It's your safe space for your family and your wife, right? It's very feminine in that way, as a daddy coming home, creating a safe space for his family. But a sacred space is like an oven. A sacred space is a heated container for transformation. You step into a different world when you go into a sacred space. So here's an example. Sacred versus profane. There's a huge movement coming right behind old Uncle E's reversion to Catholicism. 2019. Boom! I blew through. Became Catholic again. And the world, y'all were just fucking confused. Many of y'all are still fucking confused. People, I lose so many people based on just me following my heart, right? But anyway, I became Catholic, and now it's like there's a big movement. Big movement. Everybody want to be Catholic now. Not all of y'all, I get it. But the church is seeing more young men in particular return to the church this year, this Easter, than in its history, American history. Why? Why? Because the Catholic Mass and the Orthodox liturgy, I have a heart for the Orthodox. I think we belong together. But we're very different than what you would find in like most New Age Protestant denominations. When you walk into a Catholic Mass, first of all, when you walk into a cathedral, when you walk into a parish, when you walk into a monastery, right? You know right away you're not in Kansas anymore. The way it looks, right? Contrast going to a Catholic Mass, the the way it looks, it's the way it's set up, right? When you walk in, you know right away that you're somewhere sacred. The windows are not just windows. They're stained glass with icons on them. Up at the front, there's not a microphone with a guy ready to, give you teachings. There is an altar. There's an altar. Think about that term in and of itself, an altar. An altar alters things. It changes things. It transforms things. When you walk into a Catholic Mass, you're walking into a process of transubstantiation. At the sacrifice, Jesus dies and then is represented to us in the form of wine and bread, blood and flesh. This is all mythical shit. And how strange that is. When you go to, your typical evangelical, and listen, I got a lot of friends, I love them, evangelicals, Christians. These are the ones that think, I ain't gonna get into it. They have some strange ideas, but we all do. But you go to one of their events, and what do you get? You get flashing, you get new age shit, TVs and lights and rock music, and it's profane. The guy who's standing at the front of let's dig into the Bible, and he's giving you his interpretation. Even his interpretation is not sacred because it doesn't come from the sacred tradition. So there's nothing sacred in there. There's teaching. The pastor will pour into you, and he'll help you, and you'll do all kinds of great things. It's awesome, but it ain't sacred. It ain't sacred. So how are we on the topic of sacred? Sacred space for a man is a place where he can unzip, unwind, and truly be vulnerable in a way that is resourceful, because he is not going to be judged by the feminine, because she doesn't belong there. Women don't belong in a masculine sacred space in this way. And that's what I was participating in this weekend. Masculine sacred space. And that's what it is that Grounding Camp was all about, one of my old projects. And when I was running Grounding Camps, I had some students. And in other words, these were guys that came to every single one of my Grounding Camps. And I taught them how to do it for themselves, right? They wanted to do their own sacred space camps for men. And I really didn't know how they were doing with it. I just kind of gave it to them. I was like, hey, this is what it is. And then I stopped, just like it is with almost everything that becomes popular after I started. The guy who breaks the wedge, he doesn't get anything on his stats. It's the guy that comes in behind him and cleans it up. So I try to give it to these guys to clean it up. I've given people shit to clean up for me forever. Anyway, so I thought they cleaned it up, right? I led the way, they cleaned it up. I broke the wedge, they made the tackle. And so it was cool to reconcile or to, reunite with some of these guys. And the one I'm talking about in particular, who held the event this weekend, he did a great job. But I discovered something this weekend. that reminded me of who I am. As much as I taught and show how to do bioenergetics, bioenergetic healing, they were mesmerized to watch me actually do it. I brought a participant in and brought him through, I began with character structure, talked about how his body is representing the pain that he's carrying. And this young man, like all weekend, I could see that he was carrying pain. One of the participants, nobody else could see it. Even when I pointed it out, like it wasn't until later people were like, yeah, I thought something was wrong with him. I saw it from the beginning. I was like, he's got a lot of tears in him. He wants to cry. He wants to cry. He wants to sob so hard. He wanted to sob. But I laid back until it was my turn because it wasn't my event. And then when I had the opportunity, I said, young man, please come here. Please let me give you some relief from this grief that you're carrying. His eyes were dark and his lips were quivering and his voice was weak and trembling. And when I see somebody like that, I know right away he just needs a release. And I know how to help him do that. So I showed, in a group of around 40 guys, brought him in the middle, and with his permission, I said, hey, let's breathe. But not just breathe, because breath work became very popular, But breath work is not the same as bioenergetics. Bioenergetics is customized breath work. It's understanding someone's character structure and then directing the bioenergetic exercises to the blocks that are present in their structure. And nobody knows how to do that but me, it seems. I years later, I go on YouTube or, I'm trying to find who's doing this right now. Has anybody really picked up the ball and ran when it comes to bioenergetic healing? None. No one. Y'all haven't done anything with it. And I question why, but then I remember, or it dawns on me, oh, God put me here for that. And that was a big eye opener for me this weekend. After I was able to help this young man release, and he had a massive release, sobbing, anger, all spontaneous. Because a lot of times you get these schizoids that do this shit, but it's performative. They're doing it. But you don't have to do it when it's a real charge in the body. You just gotta breathe the right way. And I'm not talking about mechanically proper breathing. I'm talking about breathing into your pain. You got to breathe into your neurotic holding patterns. You got to breathe into your fucking balls. Breathe into the balls. Whatever you're holding is going to get released. For some people, like this young man, and of course I chose him specifically because it was living right on the surface. And for some of y'all, it might take you weeks. Or you could do a shortcut and take some drugs. A lot of people do that. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up because I got a call in 5 minutes. I'm going to tell y'all what I've been doing, what kind of calls I've been taking. I've been taking calls. I've been trying. But you know what? Trying is of no value if it's in the wrong direction. And I think a lot of my trying has been in the wrong direction. This is not even trying making this video, so I know that this is true. It's never been an effort for me to talk to you, except if I'm trying. If I'm trying to get views, then I'm lying when I'm trying. And I've been trying a lot of things, and I think some of it was lying. And it's not that I'm lying to you, I'm lying to myself, not being honest. Not doing the thing that I'm put here to do and thinking that I need to do all this other hard shit to try to deserve. But I'm worthy. I know I'm worthy. I know I'm worthy. You're worthy. We're worthy only when we bring worth into the world by doing what we're here to do. And it's different for me as it is for you. It's different for all of us, dude. But it's that discernment that's required in order to really tap into that. And listen, I also believe in seasons. And like I know for a fact God put me through this season so that I could lose myself in order to find myself in a more integrated way. It's an archetype. And you guys who are over 40 years old, you'll know. And it's the hardest in your 40s. I ain't saying that just because I'm 47. I'm happy I'm 47 because I only got a little bit left because statistics have shown the 50s are the best. I've had a hard 40s. Y'all, I became popular in my 30s. 40s has just been downhill for me, man, in a myriad of different ways. But I think that season's on its way out. I think something new is rising. There's so much I want to share with you. And I'm going to do it just like this, dude. This video has one cut because I fucked up. Pressed the button because my stupid tripod don't work. So anyway, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to upload this video and then I'll be back tomorrow. That's my commitment. Tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. I would like to say I will do this every day, but I don't know. I have to get over the fact that maybe y'all don't appreciate it and do it anyway. You see? That's when it's authentic. When I don't need anybody to see this, then the right people will see it. So that's it. That's all, y'all. Talk to you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to this. Done.